Grab the controller, sit in your sofa, tell your wife it's game time, damn it! It's the Crying Gamer Show! What's going on? It's the Crying Gamer in the building, baby! Along with Tekphan here to bring you a Dark Souls review. What do we think about the game? So hopefully this will sway you in your decision if you're on the fences, whether you wanted to buy it or whether you wanted to pass. You know, if it wasn't on your radar, maybe you should put it on your radar. So let's get right on into this review. We're going to start with graphics because that's what everybody loves to see, something that looks visually pleasing to them, what looks good. Starting with Dark Souls 3, I think, compared to all of the Dark Souls, well, let's start with Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, and Bloodborne. Compared to those games right there, I believe, in my opinion, I believe Dark Souls 3 is better than the other Dark Souls 3. I don't think it's quite as good looking as Bloodborne, in my opinion, but on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give the graphics in this Dark Souls about a 8.5 to 8.8 as far as graphics are concerned. Tekphan, what is your opinions of the graphics in Dark Souls 3?
I think the graphics are definitely the best in the series, but they do fall short to Bloodborne when comparing PS4 to PS4. I would give it about an 8.5, but I do think in 4K that it does look better than Bloodborne because the
Yeah, I
textures
can
are
agree.
improved, not just because the resolution's better, but they also, it seems like the details better as well. So I'll give it
Yeah,
about a 9 in visuals if we go by the PC version, and I would give it about an 8.5 in visuals if we go by the PS4 version. But the atmosphere adds to the graphics as
yeah.
well.
Definitely. I can go with that one. I can say definitely me, as I experienced it on 4K on the PC, definitely looks good. I would definitely go with that. A 9 for the PC graphics and 8.5 for the PS4 or the console versions in general. Let's move on to gameplay. I think the gameplay was very well executed. I think they took aspects of the gameplay from all of the series and they put it into one package. The combat is very rewarding, very visceral. You feel it, and the reason I say it's visceral, unlike let's go back to Skyrim, a game which I wanted to love, which I just couldn't because the combat did not feel visceral. In Skyrim, when you hit something, it felt like you was swinging a piece of paper. You just didn't feel it. It didn't feel meaty. But in Dark Souls, the combat feels meaty, gritty. It puts you in there. What do you think about the gameplay? How smooth it is as far as frame rates as well? Yeah.
I think the gameplay is excellent. I think it takes elements from all the games in the series, including Bloodborne. Um, it's faster paced than the other Souls games, and but yet not as fast as Bloodborne, and it doesn't need to be. It moves at a better pace though than the old games, which is great. And it's definitely the fact that it takes elements from all the games is like a collage. It's like there's a lot of nostalgia when you're playing if you played the old games, and I
Yeah,
think that's a plus.
definitely agree with you on that one. It is a perfect balance between Bloodborne and the older Dark Souls. Not really too fast, not really too slow. Right in between. It is a joy to play. Gameplay is perfect. I give it a 9. What do you give it, Tech Fan?
I actually think the gameplay's close to a 10, but I give it a 9.8.
Okay.
Because it offers so much. The interface is improved over the other games. The pace is faster. The atmosphere is great. It's long. You're gonna get 100 plus hours out of this game.
Definitely.
Um, the
Worth the money.
challenge is it's fair. You learn from your mistakes, and the reward aspect is great too.
Okay. So pretty much you say people will have fun playing this game, although you're gonna die a lot. Definitely gonna die a lot, but from every death you learn how to deal with the situation that you failed at to succeed and be the victor in it. And when you succeed, it is a very rewarding experience. It seems like you fought for it. And if you need help, you can always call in the backup
with a great co-op system. Has some flaws, but they need to work out. But as far as connecting with people easier, but when it works, It's a joy to play. What do you feel about the co-op?
Yeah, I think the co-op is definitely improved over the other games. It seems like you can have more players as well. They need to work on the connectivity of it. It's not as
Definitely.
smooth as it could be. It's definitely the best in the whole series, but it's not as smooth as it could be. Um, and as as far as you can actually PvP, there's spots where you can PvP like the previous Souls game, especially Dark Souls
Yes.
1. This game also has sections where you can PvP. And it's actually, if you're into that, it's actually fun.
You
Even
have a ball
invading
just
can be
PvP.
fun.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
invading
Definitely.
aspect could be fun as well, the way they have
And
it
I've been
set up.
invaded quite a lot of times. It's not. I hate being invaded. I hate it, but it is part of the game on online, which makes it a unique experience. Carrying a lot of souls with you, and somebody can just come and kill you. You know, when you're about to fight the boss or something like that. It's a very interesting experience, but very fun. Very fun. I give. What do we give the gameplay? Or did we hit gameplay
We
already?
did
Right?
gameplay already,
We
yeah.
did gameplay. All right, so this is moving on. We'll say this is the multiplayer aspect of it. I would give it I would give that a 9 as well for the multiplayer aspect, in which they can, like you say, they can improve that with connectivity. To get a higher grade score, they would have to improve that aspect. Agree or no?
Yeah, oh yeah, I agree. And back to the, not to mess up the review here, but back to the gameplay aspect. Another good thing about the fun factor in the gameplay is the fact that you have multiple quests, just like the other games, and it actually is fun enough to beat and keep playing. A lot of games, you beat it once. Well, in my case, I beat a game once, I'm done. And if there's no
Yeah.
multiplayer, that's it. That game gets put to the
Yeah.
side, and I don't play it no more.
True.
This
True.
game, I've been beat the game and I'm still playing the game and I could keep playing, and you have incentive of the fact that you keep leveling up, you improve your character, and you also items that you trade in, you could trade in for something else your next playthrough.
Definitely.
So it gives you
Definitely.
incentive to keep playing, and
Definitely
the
a game
difficulty
you would like.
improves.
Definitely with the new game plus modes. Not do we know how many plus modes there are or no?
I don't
Does it
know,
keep
but
going? You don't know?
even
Okay.
two, to play it, be able to play it twice is more than
Yeah.
most games offer.
And it's still just as fun the second time around. Um,
Yes.
Moving on to story. Very convoluted. I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't played the story. Stories dealing with fire, the emergence of fire. With the emergence of fire into this universe, it created light and dark. And when light and dark signifying, I would say, life and death as well. And darkness is covering the land, and we have to fight it um, by way of fire by killing the lords of cinder, and taking their fire and putting it back on the throne to hold off the darkness for how many years we don't know. But what we do know is that you cannot defeat the darkness. It will be back, therefore creating another Dark Souls in the future. Does that sum it up, or you have anything to add to that? Does that
Yeah,
sound
that seems
somewhat
about right.
decent?
It's a little confusing, the story. It's deep though. It definitely has a lot going on. I wish that they would touch on it more. It's not bad by any means. The atmosphere that you get, the story is good from the atmosphere. The atmosphere makes you wonder the lore of the land, what's going on, and the NPCs
Definitely.
give you little hints of what's going on. The boss fights give you hints of what's going on. Even the items have a little story to them. They don't touch on it much, but it really doesn't have to. The way the game's set up, I wouldn't give it a high rating for storytelling,
Yeah.
but the
Yes.
story and that they give you and the atmosphere that there is definitely one of the best around. But the
I can agree with
storytelling
that.
could be worked on a little bit.
So all in all, I would give the storytelling about an average about a 7. Um, but the possibilities of the story, or if you dive in there and you're able and you create your own lore, as far as what you experience, and you make sure you listen and you read stuff, read items, because actually reading a lot of items, reading the shields, the weapons that you find actually tell about the story um, while playing the game. So what do you rate the story as?
I wouldn't. I would probably give it maybe a 7.5 or an 8 with the story because of the fact that
Okay.
it's not the best telling, but what it does tell, it tells excellently, and
Okay.
it's a place that is terrifying if it was real to be in, but
Definitely.
being the fact that we're safe behind our screens,
Yeah.
you don't want to leave this place once you're in it.
Definitely. So all in all, sums it up. Is this a game that you should buy? You should pass. Well, as you can tell from this review, it's definitely a game you should add to your library. Possibly a game of the year winner. Possibly. Um, Definitely spend the money. It's a good challenge. It's fun. A lot of hours. You can enjoy yourself in it. Get lost in it, and you will not get bored. You can bring in a friend or multiple friends to help you through on your journey to fight those difficult bosses. So, Cryngamer rates this game very high. It's definitely a buy. What do you say, Tekphan?
I would say it's definitely a must buy. I would give it about a 9.8 out of 10. And as far as if it's the best in the series, well, it's definitely doing everything that it needs to do to be the best in the series. I can't give that opinion until I play the DLC. Um, but it's definitely a must buy, especially if you're into that old school Nintendo Day gameplay style. That's very a lot of exploring, a lot of challenge, and a lot of rewards. And then you bring it to the modern day style with the PvP, and it's a winner all around.
Definitely a Game of the Year nominee. So with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. Be sure to pick this game up. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button. Every like and subscribe helps the channel out immensely. Thank you for watching. Until the next video.